everyone. So as promised, we've got another yoga workout today. We're going to be focusing on opening the hips, which will help the lower backs, hamstrings, quads, all those good things. So I always like to start my yoga practice with a short meditation. So just resting the hands onto the knees, spine nice and tall, and just bring your eyes to a soft close. Take this time to notice how your hips feel, your shoulders feel, your head and neck. Notice if you're holding any tension in your hands, your jaw, the area between your eyebrows. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Take this time to commit yourself to your yoga practice today. Forget about anything that's already happened, anything you've still got left to do. Just focus on being here, right now. I want you to take your attention to your tailbone and visualize a bright light. With every breath, that light starts to fill with energy, and it grows bigger and bigger and brighter and brighter. Keep breathing into that area until you feel that energy, the expanse, is growing as big as possible. On your next breath, I want you to visualize this light traveling upwards through the body, up past the belly button, through the diaphragm, up the rib cage. Feel the energy moving past the heart. Energy starts to travel up through the chest, to the throat. Keep breathing into that wonderful energy. Your next breath, the energy starts to travel from the throat to the area between your eyebrows. And on your next breath, that light starts to travel to the very top of your head. Visualize the energy moving all the way through the tailbone, through the body, to the top of the skull. On your next breath, visualize that light energy fountaining all the way around you until you're completely covered in this wonderful light. And slowly start to visualize that light wrapping all the way around you, like yarn in a ball of wool. Imagine that light and energy wrapping all the way around you until you're completely covered. Our next breath, we're going to visualize us pushing that sphere out as wide as we can. This is your personal space. And here you're safe, you're loved, you're protected. And when you're ready, take this time to think of 3 things you're grateful for today. Whether that's a person, a situation, or something that's happened. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes to a soft gaze. Okay, so if you're sitting on a cushion or your block, just gently move that out of the way. We're going to start in our child's pose today. So knees wide, feet together, and we're going to sit all the way back with our arms stretched in front of us. We're going to take a deep breath here, in and out. Ready, breathe into any tight spots, maybe your neck, maybe your hips, maybe your lower back. Our next breath, we walk our hands over to the left. Ready, pull back through the right arm. Breathe into those ribs and into the side of the body. Inhale, we walk our hands over to the opposite side. Really pulling back through the body. Press that left hip into the ground. Really breathe deeply into the ribs. Inhale, back to the left. See if you can reach a little bit further this time. Keep pulling through the body. Inhale into the ribs for that stretch, expand and stretch a little bit further with every inhale. Inhale back to the center and walk our hands over to the right one final time, walking as far as possible. And on your next breath, we walk our hands back into the center. One breath here, in and out in the center. Now we're going to slowly look between our hands and come up. Knees come under hips. Fingers spread nice and wide and come under your shoulders. We're going to come into our cat-cow. As we exhale, we drop our head and tail to the ground. Inhale, tail and chest to the sky. Inhale, head and tail to the ground, into your cat pose. Inhale into your cow. We're going to do this 2 more times, using your own breath. Really start to warm through every single vertebra, from the tip of your tail all the way to the top of your head. And when you're ready, come back to your tabletop. This time, as we inhale, we're going to rock back. And as we exhale, we're going to rock forward. Inhale, curl through the spine, sit back. Exhale, curling up, and then reverse. Inhale, curl the spine, sit back. Exhale, curl the spine, and then extend, looking up. One more time. And exhale. From here, we're going to come back to the center, into our tabletop. Spread those fingers nice and wide, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to slowly start to circle to the right, warming through the wrists, the hands, the knees, the hips. And when you're ready, start to take that circle wider, really pressing into any tight spots that you might feel. Maybe give your head a little nod or a shake. Let go of any tension you might be holding there. Really feel through the body. And when you're ready, we're going to start to circle the opposite way. And really start to notice any tight spots, anywhere you're feeling tension. Maybe one side feels easier than the other. Start to become aware of your body. Good. And when you're ready, come back to your tabletop. Spread those fingers out nice and wide. We're going to tuck our toes under, push our tailbone up to the sky as we come towards our first down dog. So keep the knees bent nice and deep. We're going to slowly press one heel back towards the mat, then the other. Just walking our feet, pedaling our dog. Really warming through the backs of the legs, the ankles, the feet, the thighs. And when you're ready, slowly start to press both heels towards the mat. Really trying to lengthen the spine. If that means you have a little bend in your knees to start with, that's fine. More important to keep that spine tall. Keep pressing the hands into the mat. Maybe give your head a little nod or a shake. And then slowly try to press both heels towards the mat. You're looking towards your belly button. Your ears are between your arms. Feet are hip width apart. One more breath here, in and out. Our next breath, we look between our hands, step or walk our feet forward. We're going to slowly roll up our spine, vertebra by vertebra. Head is the last thing to come up. And shoulders roll up, back and down. Good. Okay, so we're going to come warm up through our sun salutation 8. So we're coming towards the top of the mat. Big toes together, heels slightly apart. We inhale our arms all the way up. And as we exhale, we fold all the way forward, keeping the weight forward into the toes. If you need to bend your knees a little, that's up to you. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lengthen the backs of your legs. If you are tight in your hamstrings, just bring your hands onto your shins. Just work on creating that length and that space. Exhale, fold all the way forward, plant those hands, and step back into your high plank. So keeping a one long line here. If this is too much for you, come onto your knees. We slowly lower down through our chaturanga. Keep those elbows into the side of the body, elbows scraping the ribs like a grasshopper. Inhale, cobra. We're going to have a nice deep bend in the elbows to start with. Press those shoulders down away from the ears. Gaze forward. Exhale, tuck the toes under and press back to your down dog. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. In and out. So just take this time to notice if you're activating those shoulders. Imagine you're squeezing oranges under your armpits. Notice if you've got even pressure the inside of the foot to the outside of the foot, inside of the hand to the outside of the hand. Most important, keep breathing. One more breath here, in and out. Our next breath, we look between the hands, step or walk the feet forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, brace the belly, rise all the way to the top. Hands to prayer and prayer to your heart. Ready to go again. Inhale. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands and step back into a high plank. Knees or toes, up to you. So from here, we're going to inhale and point our right toe behind us. It just lifts up a couple of centimeters, not too high. Keep those hips down. Exhale, right toe comes down. Inhale, we point the left behind us. Keep that core engaged and switched on. Exhale, left toe comes down. Knees or toes, we're going to lower down through our chaturanga. Slowly and with control, keep the elbows in. Inhale, cobra. So keep pressing those hips into the ground, push the shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, tuck the toes under, press back to your down dog. 3 breaths here, in and out. Keep lengthening that spine, keep pressing the hands into the mat. Really breathe into anywhere that feels tight, maybe the backs of your legs. Exhale, visualize that tension leaving your body. Our next breath, we look between the hands, step or walk the feet forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, brace the belly, rise all the way to the top. Hands to prayer and prayer to your heart. Last time, inhale all the way up. Exhale, maybe see if you can take a little back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up onto fingertops. Maybe hands onto shins, up to you. Find that length. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, step back into a high plank. Knees or toes, up to you. We lower down through our chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Coming all the way up this time. Really open the heart. Exhale, tuck toes under, back to our down dog. 1 breath here, in and out. Really try not to hold any tension in the head and neck. Our next inhale, our right foot comes up to the sky. As we exhale, our right knee comes towards our left elbow. Inhale, right foot up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right foot up to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. And see if you can hover it there for a few seconds. Good. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, right foot comes down. 1 breath here, in and out. Our next breath, inhale, left foot up towards the sky. As we exhale, left knee towards the right elbow. Inhale, left foot up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left foot up to the sky. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. See if you can hover it there again for a few seconds. Good. Inhale, up to the sky. And exhale, back into your down dog. 1 breath here, in and out. Our next breath, we look between our hands, step or hop the feet forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, brace the belly, rise all the way to the top. Hands to prayer and prayer to your heart. Well done. Okay guys, if you need a drink at any point, make sure you hydrate if you need it. If you need a rest in child's pose at any time during your practice, make sure you listen to your body and take your child's pose. We're going to do our sun salutation P with slight variation. So big toes together, heels slightly apart. This time as we inhale, we sit back, sweep the sides of our feet and come into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Really lift up through the chest, squeeze those inner thighs together, and if you can, sink a little deeper. Try and tuck that pelvis under and sit yourself back onto your chair. Good. Keep breathing, keep squeezing. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, step back into your high plank. Coming down to your chaturanga of choice, maybe one-legged, elbows in, control. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes under, press back to your down dog. One breath here, in and out. Our next breath, we inhale our right foot up to the sky. Really press your left heel into the mat. As we exhale, we curl the right knee towards the nose and step the right foot between our hands. Back foot turns 45 degrees. We square the hips and we come into our warrior one. Now just take this time to notice that your right knee is in line with your foot, not folding in or out. Check that back hip is really square as much as possible so you're facing your mat. Arms long and strong. Good, keep breathing. Keep those shoulders pressing away from the ears. So from here, we're going to just step our feet half width apart. So like that. So just look down and you should be able to see your heels sort of in line with each other. Your back foot is still 45 degrees. Now we're going to come into our pyramid pose. So we've got options for our arms. If you are tight in your shoulders, just hold on to your elbows behind you. If a little bit more flexible, take a reverse prayer and press the palms in together. Okay, so keeping both legs straight, we're going to come forward as far as our spine stays straight. If your spine starts to curve, you've come too far and you need to come up. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slowly come forward, keeping those legs straight and our spine is straight. Now we're just going to breathe into the back of the leg, into that sciatic nerve, into the calf. Exhale, visualize that tension leaving the body. Our next breath, relax the head, come all the way forward and just bring the hands down to the mat. Take a minute here to breathe into that nice stretch in the back of the leg. And when you're ready, come onto your fingertips. Now if this is too much of a stretch for you, you can use your block or maybe some books at home if you've got them, and use that instead. Finding length in your spine, your right hand comes in line with the right foot, and we inhale the left hand up to the sky. Breathe into that nice twist. Exhale, left hand comes down. Inhale, right hand up to the sky. Keep pressing that right hip back to the back of the room. Good, keep breathing. Our next breath, our fingers slowly tiptoe forward until our back foot lifts off the floor. Now again guys, if this is too much for you, use your block or book, up to you. Our right hand is aiming to be in line with the right foot. We're just going to bring our left hand to the hip, and if you can, open your left arm up to the sky. If it's in your practice today, look towards that left hand. Work through that balance, maybe flex that back foot. This is your half moon pose. Keep breathing, keep squeezing. Our next breath, bring both hands back to the mat and slowly walk your hands back towards that right foot, pressing the left foot into the sky into your standing splits. Maybe try and bring one hand onto the back of your right ankle. Maybe bring two, up to you, listen to your body. Keep breathing. Our next breath, you bend that front leg, step the back into a high plank. Well done. We're going to lower down through your chaturanga of choice. Inhale, cobra, exhale, tuck the toes under, back to down dog. We're going to take 2 breaths here, in and out. So maybe if you need a rest, take your child's pose for 2 breaths, or just stay in your down dog. Remember, down dog is an active pose. Our next breath, we inhale, left foot up to the sky. And as we exhale, we curl our left knee towards our nose. Step the left foot between our hands. Back foot turns 45 degrees. We square the hips and come into our warrior one on the other side. Again, take this time to check your positioning. Check that knees in line with the foot. You should still be able to see your big toe. If you can't, you need to step wider. Back foot is 45 degrees. Really square those hips up. If you can, just tuck under very slightly and sink a little deeper. arms long and strong. Keep breathing. So from here we step our feet heart width apart. Make sure your heels are still in line with each other, your back foot is still 45 degrees. So spine nice and tall, holding on to the elbows, or maybe reverse prayer. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slowly fold forward, keeping that spine long. If it starts to curve, you've come too far. Keep lengthening, keep breathing. Should feel a nice stretch in the back of the left leg. And next breath, we relax all the way forward. Let the hands flop to the ground. Maybe give your head a shake if you feel tension there. Keep breathing into that nice stretch. Remember, you've got your option of using your block. From here we lengthen our spine. Left hand comes in line with the left foot. And we inhale, right hand up to the sky. Good. Exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale, left hand up to the sky. Notice if you feel more tight on one side than the other. Exhale, left hand comes down. Slowly we tiptoe our fingers forward until our back foot lifts off the ground. Our left hand is in line with our left foot. And we're bringing our right hand onto our right hip. Or if it's in your practice today, maybe you open the right arm out. If you want to challenge your balance, look towards that right hand. Do whatever feels good for you today as you come into that half moon. Good, keep breathing. Try and lift out of that bottom hip. And next breath, we bring both hands back to the mat. Square those hips up as much as you can. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards that left foot, pressing the right leg into the sky. Maybe you bring one hand or two hands onto the back of that left ankle. Drop the head, keep pressing the right foot up to the sky into your standing split. Well done. And next breath, you bend that front leg, step back into a high plank. And slowly lower down into your chaturanga. Up for cobra. Exhale, tuck those toes under, back to down dog for 2 breaths here, in and out. Our next breath, we look between our hands, step or hop our feet forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the sides of the feet. And sit back into your Utkatasana or chair pose. Squeeze those inner thighs together, sit all the way back. Try and lift your heart up, look between those hands. Tuck the tailbone slightly. Good, keep breathing, whatever you do, keep breathing. And next breath, we rise all the way to the top. Hands to prayer, and prayer to your heart. Well done, guys. Okay, so we're going to come into our first sequence. So starting with our feet together, top of the mat, we're going to step back on our right leg into our high crescent lunge. Okay, so nice and wide, once again, check that knees in line with your foot. Square the hips up, and if you can, just tuck the pelvis under so you get a deeper stretch in that back quad muscle. Stretch those arms long and strong. Now if you want to challenge yourself, sink a little deeper. Keep breathing, looking forward, in and out. Feel really strong and grounded in this pose. Use this time to get your breath back. From here, we turn our back foot 90 degrees parallel with the back of our mat, and we open our arms out into Warrior Two. Check your back middle fingers in line with the front middle finger. Check this front knee is not folding in, it's still pressing out. Really sink into the hips there. Try and make sure your spine is one nice long line, not folding forward. You're coming sort of in line, okay? We're gazing towards that top hand. Really grounded. From here, we're going to reverse our hands. Back hand comes to the back thigh. We inhale our left hand up to the sky. Breathing into the front side of the body. If you have lower back issues, just stay here. If you want to take this a little further, inhale your top fingers up higher. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Maybe you take your bind, your back hand comes behind you and hooks into the inside of your left thigh. We're trying to gaze up towards that left hand. next breath, we come back to warrior two. From here, we're going to straighten that front leg. Imagine someone pulling your front fingers forward towards the wall. Then we drop down into our Trikonasana or triangle pose. And if you are tight in your hamstrings, just come up a little bit higher. If you're a little bit loose in your hamstrings, come down towards your ankle. Really try and keep that right shoulder as open as possible. If you can, turn your gaze towards that right hand. We want to keep our body in one nice long line. Imagine you're a piece of toast in your toaster. Good. So from here, we're going to circle our top arm round to the front, and it comes to the inside of the left foot. We bend that back knee, so we're now in our lizard pose. Okay. So both hands on the inside of the left foot, we want to gaze forward. We're a lizard, we need to catch our fly for our dinner. Now if this is too much for you, drop that back knee down. If you want to take this further, come down onto your forearms. Of course, if you've got a block or some books, you could use that as well. We're just working towards your own body and what feels good for you today. Really send your breath into any areas that feel tight, maybe your hips, maybe your quads. Keep breathing. Visualize any tension leaving your body as you exhale. A couple more breaths here, in and out. Good. Our next breath, we all come onto our hands, place our back knee down. We push our hips back, keeping them as square as possible into our half hand in man. So if you're tight in your hamstrings, just walk your fingertips up, maybe use your blocks. If you're a little bit looser, just walk those fingertips forward and let your head relax. Breathe into the hamstring, the calf, that sciatic nerve. And as you exhale, visualize that tension leaving your body. Inhale, bend that front knee, come all the way forward. From here, we're going to walk our left foot out to the outside of the mat on the left side. Our right hand comes to the right side. We're just going to gently press our left knee out as far as comfortable and drop our head to the right hand. Now we'll just come and show you that from the same angle as you. Okay, so we're just dropping our head, gently pressing our left knee out. Keep breathing. Inhale, slowly release that knee. And if you can, bend the back leg up. So remember, if you start to cramp, stop. If you can, bend the back leg up. We're going to reach the left arm around and bring the right foot towards us, opening that left shoulder up to the side of the room. And next breath, we release that leg, tuck the toes under. We're going to press back to our three-legged dog. This time as we exhale, we bring our left knee to the outside of our left wrist. We're coming into our pigeon pose. Okay, so I'll just do it to face you guys. You really want to make sure that your knee is on the outside of the left wrist. Now if you are tight in your hips, use your block or your book or your cushion, and it comes under your left hip. Okay? Breathe in and out. If you're happy to, we're going to fold forward. So slowly start to walk your hands forward. And just rest onto your forearms. Maybe your arms are outstretched, whatever feels good for you. Try and keep those hips as square as possible. And keep breathing into that glute. This is a really, really good stretch, guys, for people with low back issues. If you have got any issues, just be careful and do use your block or your cushion. Remember, if anything hurts, just back off the stretch. Our next breath, we slowly start to walk back up. We're going to tuck our back toes under and just press back to our down dog. Give it a little shake if you need it, and slowly press those heels towards the mat. Taking 2 breaths here in child's pose or down dog. Our next breath, we look forward between our hands. Step or hop the feet forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, brace the belly, rise all the way to the top. Hands to prayer and prayer to your heart. Well done. Ready for the other side. So we step back on our left leg into our high crescent lunge. Check that knee position, check the hips are square. And if you want to challenge yourself, sink a little deeper. Good. Keep breathing, keep looking forward. Good, well done. So from here, we're going to open our arms out into our warrior two on the other side. Just check this front knee hasn't started to fold in, you're still pressing out. We're looking towards our right hand. From here, we reverse our hands, back hand comes onto back thigh. We inhale the right hand up towards the sky. Lower back issues, if you've got them, stay here. If you want to increase, inhale, right fingertips up. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Perhaps you take your bind. Do whatever feels good for you today. Our next breath, we come back to our warrior two. From here, we straighten that front leg. Imagine someone pulling those front middle fingers forward. And then we drop into our Trikonasana or triangle. Try and keep both legs as straight as possible. And keep that top shoulder open. Keep breathing. Squeeze those inner thighs together if you're struggling with your balance. Our next breath, we circle that top arm round to the front of the mat. Both hands come to the inside of the right foot. And just release that back heel so you're now in your lizard pose on the opposite side. Once again, guys, you've got options. If this is too much for you, back knee down. If you want to take this further, come down onto your forearms or use your block. Keep looking forward, keep that extension, thoracic spine and upper back. Really breathe into any tight spots, and as you exhale, visualize that tension leaving your body. Good, well done. Our next breath, we place our back knee down, come onto our hands. Keeping the hips as square as possible, we press back into our half hangman. Just rest the head down if you can. If you need to walk your fingertips up, you do so. Keep breathing into the back of that leg. Exhale, let it all go. Our next breath, we bend that front knee. This time, we walk our right foot out to the right side of the mat, left hand to the left side of the mat. We're just going to gently press the left knee out with the right hand. And if you can, drop your head over to your left hand, opening the inside of the hip there. Good. Gently release that leg. Now if you can, bend that back leg. If not, that's fine. If you want, reach the right arm round to reach the left foot and bring that towards you. Trying to keep that right shoulder open as much as you can. Find that length in the spine. Remember, if you start to cramp, it's too much. Next breath, release that leg down. Tuck those left toes under. We're going to press to our three-legged dog. Right foot comes up towards the sky. As we exhale, right knee comes to the outside of the right wrist. Really square your hips as much as possible. Check that back leg's in line with the back hip. We come into our pigeon pose. If you're using blocks or a cushion, this time it comes underneath your right hip. Okay, so we inhale all the way up. And as we exhale, we slowly start to walk down. Just listening to your body, maybe stopping for a few breaths when it starts to get a bit tight. And if you feel comfortable, relax all the way down. Stay here for a few breaths, really feeling that nice stretch in the hips. Our next breath, we slowly start to walk our hands up. Tuck the back toes under. We press back to our high plank. So lowering down through chaturanga of your choice, up to you. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes under. Press back to your down dog. 2 breaths here, in and out. Really spread those fingers wide, really press those heels towards the mat, lengthen that spine. Activate the shoulders. Most important, keep breathing. Our next breath, we look between our hands, step or hop the feet forward. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, brace the belly, rise all the way to the top. Hands to prayer and prayer to your heart. Good, well done. So today, guys, we're going to do our dancer's pose. So our left foot is really grounded. Spread those left toes out as much as possible. Visualize sort of roots coming up from the ground into the calf, into the thigh. Imagine your thigh muscle sucking into that thigh bone. We're going to bend our right leg. We're holding on the inside of the right foot. Try and press those hips forward, keep the knees together. Left hand comes in now in line with the left shoulder. Find a spot that doesn't move and just look towards that spot. And that's your balance point. Inhale, lengthen out of the hips. Press the chest forward. Exhale, slowly start to kick your back foot into your backhand. We're aiming for height. We don't want to come forward, we want to come up. Keep breathing, keep focusing. If you have a little wobble, that's fine. You just come in, back into it when you're ready. Exhale, slowly lower down with control. Good, and release all the way down. Ready for the other side. So this time we spread our right toes into the mat. Really feel nice and strong and grounded. It's like that thigh muscle into the bone. Bend the left foot up, holding in the inside of the left foot. Press the hips forward, knees together. Right hand comes in line with the right shoulder. Pick your gaze point, your viewpoint, your drishti as we call it in yoga. And focus. Inhale, lengthen, come out of the hips. Exhale, slowly start to press your back foot into your backhand as you come into your dancer's pose. Keep breathing, keep focusing. If outside thoughts start to creep into your mind, just acknowledge them, let them go. They can come back after yoga. Exhale, slowly come back all the way down. Release the leg, give them a little shake if you need to. So our feet are going to come half width apart. So hip width sort of area, we're going to roll down from our head, through our spine, all the way down to the ground. Keeping a nice bend in the knees, we're just holding onto the elbows and gently rocking our body side to side, ragdolling. Try and keep your weight forward into your toes. And then release your hands onto the mat. And slowly start to see if you can straighten the legs there. Maybe give your head not a shake, let go of any tension. So just bringing the feet slightly closer together. We're going to bend the left knee. And just see if you can hook your right arm around your left leg. And open up. And then we're going to twist the other way. So your arms are going to come around your straight leg. Grip your hands and look towards your right hip. Exhale, release. So I'm just going to do that facing you this time. This time we bend our right leg. See if you can hook your arms underneath there. We're just holding on to our left wrist with our right hand. Look over to the right. And if you're okay with that, right hand comes behind your left leg, holding onto the left wrist and look towards that left hip. Good. Maybe even see from there if you can bring your right hand underneath your right knee, left hand behind your back and look towards that left hip. This is advanced, guys, so don't worry if this isn't available to you at the moment. Release the hands all the way down to the floor. We'll just look towards the hand, bend the knees. And we're coming on to our shins. If you've got a hard floor, guys, just double fold that mat so you've got a bit more padding for your knees. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate this first. Maybe watch this once and then do it. We're tucking our toes under. Our hips are in line with our knees and our hands are coming onto our sacrum. Now we're working towards our camel pose, guys. So fingertips are pointing down towards the ground. we inhale, lengthen up. As we exhale, we squeeze our shoulder blades together. Heart pointing up towards the sky. Now if you can, gently drop your head back. Exhale, a little bit of pressure to see the sacrum, come all the way up. And then sit back into your child's pose with your knees together. Okay, we're going to do that again. This time I'm going to show you more advanced options. So tuck the toes under, hands come onto sacrum. Inhale, lengthen the spine, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, press the hips forward. And we start to fall back. Now if it's in your practice, hands onto the outside of the ankles. We're still pressing our hips forward. If you want to take this further, untuck the toes. Keep pressing the hips. Keep breathing. If you want to come out of this, hands back onto sacrum. We slowly raise up all the way with control. Never throw the body. Sit yourself all the way back into child's pose. And breathe here in and out. Now anyone that's got lower back issues, you don't want to come too deep into your camel pose to start with. And inhale, come all the way up, slipping over to your bottom. Just throw that mat out. So crossing our right leg over our left. Trying to aim to get both sides of the pelvis into the ground. Now if you really tighten your hips, your right leg will be forward. But if you can, try and get your knees in line with each other. So they're in one long line. And if you look down, see if your feet can come in line with each other as well. Okay, so we're in our shoelace pose. We're going to inhale, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, slowly start to walk your hands forward. Now if this is too much for you, maybe just use a cushion or block on your knees and rest your head there. We're really aiming to keep both sides of the pelvis into the mat. Don't let it lift. Inhale, walk the hands back up. Uncross the legs and then cross them the other way. Okay. So, left knees in line with each other, press that tailbone into the mat. If you can, feet in line with each other as well into that shoelace. But most important, keeping the left and right side hips into the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slowly. Start to walk your fingertips forward. And if you can, just relax your head down. Our next breath, you walk our hands back up. Release the legs, give them a little shake if you need to. We're going to bend the knees, setting ourselves up. We're going to come into our frog pose. So if you've got a half floor like me, maybe you want to bend your mat or use a cushion. Your shin's going to come in line with your knee as we come into our frog pose. So what you really want is a shin in a 90-degree line. You don't want your toes to come in. And you're just opening your legs out as far as comfortable. And then you're sitting forward. I'm just going to show you from the side as well. So what we don't want is our feet in. We want them really parallel. We're sitting back and getting that nice deep stretch in the groin. Try not to sit your bum too far back. Try not to come too far forward. We just want that 90-degree line, hip to knee. If you can, just rest your head down. Now it's not the nicest stretch, guys, but you just got to keep breathing. Taking that stretch as far as comfortable, well, within measure. And slowly, slowly, you'll start to feel your hips just letting go a little bit more. Breathe into those tight spots. Exhale, let that tension leave your body. If you do this at home, maybe you want to hold the stretch for up to 3 minutes in a yin style, working through that connective tissue, that fascia. Our next breath, slowly start to walk your hands up. And then just gently bring your shins together. Give them a little shake if you need it. And then keeping the legs straight out in front of you. We're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Relax the head. Inhale, lengthen, look up to the sky. Keep the backs of your legs into the mat. Exhale, pull yourself a little deeper. Inhale, release, lift yourself all the way up. Just coming forward to the mat, slowly roll yourself all the way down, vertebra by vertebra. Good, hug your knees into your chest. Keeping the knees together, just gently circle to the right, massaging out this lower back, the hips. And when you're ready, start to circle the other way. Knees come apart, feet into the air. Holding onto the big toes with the peace fingers or the outside edge of the foot with the hands. We're coming into a happy baby. Really start to imprint your lower back into the ground, press that sacrum into the ground. If you feel comfortable, just gently rock from side to side, continuing that massage of the lower back and the opening on the inside of the hip. If you want to, see if you can straighten those legs out. Feel that nice hamstring stretch. Maybe you want to also rock from side to side, up to you. That nice stretch there. So bringing the legs back to the center. We're going to bring the right knee towards our chest. Stretch that left leg down. So our right leg comes up into our hamstring stretch. Just gently point and flex that right foot. Trying to keep the back of the head, neck and shoulders into the mat. Now holding onto the big toe with our right hand, or maybe the ankle, maybe the calf. Up to you, depends on your flexibility. Left arm comes in line with the left shoulder. We slowly start to open that right leg, keeping the left hip into the mat. And if you are tight or you find it hard, hold on to the outside of the calf and create a little shelf with your elbow. Yeah? And keep pressing that left hip into the mat. Feel the nice opening through the hip. Inhale, lengthen all the way back up. Slowly lower down. This time we inhale, left knee towards the chest, give a little squeeze. Then we lengthen that left leg out. We're going to point and flex that top leg. Try and keep the backs of the shoulders into the mat. Right arm comes in line with the right shoulder. And if we can, slowly open that left leg to the left side. We're holding on to the big toe or the outside edge of the ankle. If this is not available for you, hold the outside of the calf. And just create a little shelf with your elbow, just to give you that support. Keep breathing wherever you are. Inhale, slowly bring up to the center. Give yourself a little squeeze. Right leg crosses over left. We're just going to drop to the left side. Maybe look towards the right. Keep breathing. Inhale back to the center. Drop the legs over to the opposite way. Your gaze turns to the opposite arm. Try and keep the back of the shoulder into the ground. Inhale back to the center and change legs. Left foot crosses on top of right. And we exhale, drop the legs over to the right hand side, looking towards the left. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, dropping our legs to the left and looking towards the right. Inhale back to the center. Give yourself one final last squeeze or hug if you need it. Then when you're ready, just open your legs out to the outside edges of your mat. Hands resting by the side of your body. Fold the shoulders underneath you. And just bring your eyes to a soft close as we get ready for our Shavasana. Bring yourself back to your breath. As you inhale, feel those ribs expanding. And as you exhale, let that tension go. Notice if you're holding any tension in your hips, your knees, your upper back, your shoulders, maybe your feet, your hands, and your jaw, the area between your eyebrows. Allow your spine to feel supported by the earth. And just enjoy this wonderful, peaceful time for yourself. Now maybe in your own practice at home, you stay here for 5 to 10 minutes. up to you. When you're ready, slowly start to bring some awareness back to your body. Wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Keeping those eyes closed, just gently maybe rock your head from side to side. And when you're ready, roll yourself onto your side and just stay there for a moment with those eyes closed. And when you're ready, keeping those eyes closed, just come and sit yourself up to a comfortable seated meditation position. Sitting tall, hands in your lap or on your knees. Going to take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Take this time to notice how your body feels after your yoga practice today. Do you feel more relaxed, more at peace? Maybe just more even from side to side? And when you're ready, just remind yourself of the 3 things you're grateful for at the beginning of today's practice. Whether that's a person, a situation, or something that's happened, or even just that the sun is out. When you're ready, bring your hands to prayer. The love and light in me honors the love and light in you. Namaste.